Okay, today we are hunting. We are on the hunt for the best crypto gaming tokens out there that can 100x and make you rich. Okay, look, it's no secret that crypto gaming tokens are gonna make massive runs and massive profits this bull market. I mean, we are talking 20, 50, 100, 500, or even more X profits here. The problem is that every influencer and their mother out there are talking about gaming tokens. So in this video, we are hunting for the best crypto gaming tokens that can make us massive gains, but also have a working products that make sense. And for that, we need the best crypto gaming expert to help us do it. And he goes by the name of Crypto Stash. Stash, my man, the man with the games, the man that knows about the games but plays with the games, is actual player. Stash, thank you so much for doing this. Really appreciate you, man.
No doubt. Hey, good to be back here, Paul, man. Like you said, it's been a little too long, but
Yep.
we're popping our collar. We're talking about Web3 gaming today.
Yes, and those really hard finds that no one really talks about. I don't hear many people talk about it. Now, and I'll be honest, man, you're the expert on that. I made some pretty good calls on the crypto factor though, with that GFAL, that Miria, that G Swift. But I want to know those dirty little coins that are hiding away deep down in the altcoin forest, or should I say the gaming altcoin forest, which you know about, and maybe we can talk about those. So let's get straight to it. Let's talk about 5 coins, right? 5 of your most, how can I put this? Big expectation, big risk gaming coins that actually work, that can actually take off.
Well, the thing is, they're all risk. You know, every coin is really a risk. We've seen so many projects come and go over the last couple of years in gaming that even a project that seems like, man, this is solid, this is going somewhere, there's a good chance it's not going to. I mean, that's pretty much all of crypto, but in particular with the crossover of gaming, it adds another layer there, right? Because gaming is an incredibly impacted industry, right? There's so much competition there for eyeballs and for time and for players and for community. And you know, trying to bring those over into what we're doing here in Web3 has not been easy. It's not been easy. So, you know, a lot of these products rely on what's, you know, on the community here, right? The community here. I think that, you know, when it comes to some undervalued coins, things that I've been looking at that are interesting, that I think are doing good things, you know, I'll throw a couple out here that I haven't talked about in a video yet.
Cool.
You know, I put out videos all the time and talk about these things, but a couple that you know, I kind of have my eye on here that I haven't really talked too much about. One of them is Kopi. It's the token for cornucopias. Are you familiar with that like metaverse game on
No,
Cardano?
no, no, I am not. It's on Cardano. Okay.
Yeah, Cardano hasn't got a lot of love from the gaming side of things, right? We've seen a lot of love from Avalanche, right? You know, that they've
Right.
really been pushing the gaming narrative, which and they're amazing. I'm not, you know, I'm just saying, like, in general, there's a lot of chains out there that are really pivoting to making gaming their focus. And I think that, you know, Cardano has kind of tried to do that over the last couple of years, or last year and a half, maybe 2 years or so, as they've added NFTs and then kind of progressed from there. But yeah, Cornucopia is I would consider probably one of the best games being built on Cardano right now. They
Right.
have a great team. I've been in there and played it a couple times. You know, the metaverse is looking really really good. They have you know, their new racing game that's in there, which is actually pretty good. It reminds me of F-Zero, which I love. I don't know if you guys remember F-Zero, but awesome game. And you know, they have a good vision. But in general, you know, we're seeing some good things coming for this token too. They're getting ready to launch a node program. So we know, we've seen, like, what you, as you mentioned before, a couple of node-based gaming ecosystems like Gala, like Myria. You know, people have seen that Gala's system worked really well, and they made stupid amounts of money with
Exactly.
their system. And so we've seen a lot of projects take that and run with it, right? I think cornucopias are going to do something similar to that, and they're going to be launching a node, I believe, a node sale, I believe, here in December. They are also looking to do some major exchanges too. So that's definitely one I have my eye on, because and once again, I'm going to tell you why. People are like, oh, but you know, Cardano, I don't know. People are maybe not a big fan of Cardano, whatever. I don't give a
Right.
shit about blockchain. I mean, like you can do most things that you need to do in gaming, you can pretty much do on every blockchain, right? There are some limitations, obviously. There's some things that are good about some and bad about others. But the thing I love about Cornucopias and the reason why I'm bullish about them and what they're doing is their community. Because
Mm.
cycling back to what I said earlier, right? It's really incredibly hard to get a good community to bring people from the traditional gaming space, or even here in Web3 with so much going on, into your game and have them really stick around and be you know part of what you're building. And the Cornucopias community they are there, man. They are a strong community. They're you know very supportive. They're you know a pleasure to hang out with and game with, and that I love. And I see that dedication there. And to me, that shows that the developers have done a good job on, you know, fostering this community and finding and building something that attracts the right type of people. And I
Right.
love it.
All right. So one on Cardano. Do you have another one for Cardano, or are we going to another blockchain?
Um, you know, there's some other products building on Cardano, but I would say it's probably one of the best ones in my opinion.
Nice. So if you're gonna get in, you might as well get on that one, and then
Yeah.
you're good to go. And okay, cool. So what else? What else do you have in mind?
I mean, looking at some other projects here and things, you know, I'm actually, I know this is not, I wouldn't say this is like a small cap or like unknown, but if you're familiar with Merit Circle, they have just rebranded to Beam,
Okay.
and is an Avalanche based, you know, it's an Avalanche based, you know, essentially ecosystem that is building, you know, tools for game developers, right? Similar to what we've seen with Polygon and Immutable X, right?
Right.
That kind of relationship there, right? That's essentially what we're kind of seeing here with Avalanche and Beam. And so
Mm.
Beam has a bunch of really good SDK tools that they're going to be providing here for people on Avalanche. And so I'm actually really interested to see how that works out and how that goes. I think that what they've done with the rebrand is super solid. I love the rebrand. They, you know, we're seeing a lot of projects, a lot of people
Right.
rebranding. Right? Rebranding is the whole big thing here the last, you know, 6 months or so.
Well, it
And
used to be a thing back in 2017. The rebrand used to pump the price, have a website, pump the price even more.
yeah, and
New
I mean,
website, guys.
I don't think that changed. It still could. And I think that we've seen that here with Merit Circle. I mean, like, you know, sometimes the branding and the name doesn't really reflect what you're going after or who you're trying to attract, right? Those things all play a factor
Right, and yeah,
into what you're trying
exactly.
to.
So what you did there. Well, look, the thing with rebranding is they show new direction, they show expansion, and it's a way to communicate that when it comes to marketing and stuff like that. Like a rebrand shows that you're doing more. It
Right.
puts the other person in the psychology, and it also helps the whole project, let's say, or I can't think of the word right now. But anyway, okay, that's a good.
You're moving the needle. Yeah, you're right. You're moving the needle. You're
Right,
like, hey, this team is progressing. They have a vision. And,
right,
you know, out of all the rebrands that I've seen, I felt like this was probably one of the best ones. And
right.
so, you know, there's a huge gaming narrative on Avalanche, and I think that they're going
Yeah.
to be very pivotal. They're going to be very pivotal for Avalanche and gaming and on that chain. So definitely bullish on Beam and what they're doing. I wouldn't consider that like
I
oh, this
get
is a
into that. This one I want to get into that. I want to look into that one because I'm not in it. But I know there's going to be a gaming war between Solana and Avalanche, or at least that's what I see. Well, I'll tell you why.
I disagree, man. I
Why?
disagree.
Why? Tell me.
Look. So I like Solana, but obviously Solana has had some pretty big ups and downs, right? They lost what was, in my opinion, the biggest thing they had going for them, which was like the machine of Solana, which, you know, obviously was propped up. Now we know because of FTX and all the other things that gone on. But that was one of the biggest things that was really pushing this forward. Now, when you look at some of the games there, you know, we've had multiple larger titles leave Solana. You know, right now I feel like they're still kind of anchored by Star Atlas, which I love. I love Star Atlas. What they're doing is great. You know, they've stuck to their guns. They've kept building. I know a lot of people try and fade them, but I don't think that that's something that would be wise to
Will I
do.
ever get my coins, Star Atlas coins back? I have no idea.
Where are they right now?
I think I thought they were on I think they're on FTX because when I looked at my Phantom wallet, I can't find them.
Yeah, well, if they're on FTX, man, I don't know
Well,
about
there's
that one.
somewhere. You know, I've lost a lot of coins over the years.
You know what? Hey, hold on. Let me tell you. So have I. I've lost. I mean,
I
like
can't
lost.
remember where they are. I had
This is-
Ordi. I can't remember where it is. It was in my main portfolio. I used to talk about it all the time. All the last year, I was talking about. I was one of the first people to talk about Ordi, SRC 20 tokens, BRC 20 tokens. I was so into Ordi, Alex Stacks. I can't find my Ordi.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, man. I got a video for you.
Okay.
I just dropped it 2 days ago,
Okay.
and because I realized that what I keep seeing in this narrative, obviously right now, is everyone's like 100x, 1000x. You're gonna make crazy gains. Get in on this gaming thing. Gaming is a big narrative. I'm like, man, I've been talking about this shit for 6 damn years,
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
all the people and like trying to tell people this is gonna be the big narrative, and all the big YouTubers don't give a shit about gaming until it pumps, and that's what's proliferating the market. Now they love gaming. Now they've been calling it for years and they're geniuses.
That's
But
when I challenged Alex Becker. I challenged Alex Becker a few years ago. Not challenged him personally, but I made the video about it because he was saying that gaming won't drop in the bear market. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's gonna drop this shit.
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean everything's gonna take a hit, but
Right.
like it's so this video I made, essentially I saw all this going on. I was like, you know what people aren't doing right now on YouTube is really trying to at least give some good tips for new people who are coming in now, or came in at like the top of last bull market, right? So I made this video with my top 6 tips on how to kind of play a crypto gaming bull market, right? I'm not, when I say tips, I don't mean here's the damn coins. I mean here's things, best practices that you could do, or things that you should be looking at, or ways to go about investing, right, on a high level, to avoid some of those pitfalls. And one of those, tip number 4, don't spread yourself too thin. That's exactly what you've done, and I've done that too, where I start investing in every shiny object that comes my way. And I'm like, oh, I want some of that. Oh, I want some of that. I'm gonna grab that NFT. And I realize, like, oh my gosh, I am now in over 100 something projects. I can't keep up with it.
You can't keep up.
You start losing things. And not only do you lose the things, but you just lose the opportunity of being able to take maximize your profits on
exactly,
whatever.
because you can't pay for fees if it's on Ethereum and so on. And you do forget things. I mean, I've forgotten so many things, especially with what I went through. I forgot, like I literally forgot my name for a while, so I can't remember where everything is. But the thing, let's go back to Solana real quick, and I want to check out that video. As a matter of fact, I'll leave that video down below in the description as well for people that are getting into right now into crypto. I think it's going to be very important. I'll watch it myself. But the thing back with Solana against AVAX, I said, the way I see it, Solana went through a lot, did a lot, but keeps on recovering, right? I mean, price action shows that it didn't go down as much as expected. Plus, that mobile phone that they were launching, they're not doing it because they're getting into the communication industry. They're doing it because they're getting into the gaming industry.
Doesn't matter. No one's gonna buy it. It doesn't matter. No one's gonna buy that shit.
I don't think they care. I think they're doing it as sort of a product case for games, for mobile games.
But see, that's what he's saying. When you say they, who the hell is they now? That's what I was trying to tell you, is that Solana had a they, and now they have no they. There's no one driving the ship, man. There's no one at the wheel.
Decentralization is a DAO.
I mean, I'm not saying that's bad. I love that route too, but that's not the route.
Isn't that crypto?
And that is not what pumped that chain. Right? That was not what propped up that chain. That's not what kept everybody going. That's not what attracted builders to that chain. It wasn't that, oh, it's a great decentralized community that is owned by everybody and there's no one steering the ship. That's Bitcoin, man. And I mean, as much as I love Bitcoin, there's a reason why Ethereum has overtaken it when it comes to activity in development, because Ethereum is geared specifically towards doing that, and Bitcoin is not, right? So I'm not fading Solana. I still like what's going on there. I think the ecosystem is good, but it doesn't have those things that really made it explosive. It doesn't. They're gone.
So it's not okay.
But how do we get back there? I don't know.
Do they need to get back there, or do they need to evolve?
Well, I mean, when I say get back there, I don't mean like get back to where they have a bunch of shady shit going on. I just mean the explosiveness. How do you get back to that explosiveness? You know, when you look at other chains and other things going on, you know, founders drive a lot of that. Sure. Now, Ethereum and Bitcoin are a little bit special, right? Ethereum technically has an active, I mean, we'll say an active founder. I mean, Vitalik is out there. He still does things, you know. I wouldn't call, I mean, I wouldn't say he's necessarily 100% steering the ship. But when we see all these other chains that are very popular, we do see a lot of like top, what has helped driving the narrative there. And sometimes it's one single founder, sometimes it's an organization or a foundation or a DAO or something, but really pushing those narratives and those angles. And I feel like Solana's kind of lost that a little bit, like they've lost a lot of those things. So, once again, I don't think that I don't think that it's not a viable chain for gaming. I totally think it is. Like I said, Star Atlas is still there. Aurory's there. I just played that. Like, I think that they're doing good. I mean, but these are also games that are expanding to other chains too. And so you would think about that and it's like, okay, well, and there were some games that left, obviously, some games that left, but Solana doesn't have like what I would consider like, man, there's a ton of really great games on
Right.
Solana.
Which
And they're
which
going to push
more new games will come, the more news and the more will price pump the price. But okay. I get what you're
no,
saying.
but that's what I'm saying. But that's the problem though, is that what is attracting people to want to come to Solana now? Before it was, oh man, we're going to get some money, some big money, and that's how they played it. Now why would if I'm a brand new game developer, why do I go to Solana? It's not EVM compatible right there out the gate. That is one of the biggest like deterrent factors from building on Solana, that it's not EVM compatible. It makes it way easier if you can be EVM compatible, because then you have a lot more option as a developer. I come from a development background. I literally have been running a development studio for 20 years.
Yeah.
I understand this stuff on the code level. So what it comes down to is that if I'm going to pick a chain, I'm not going to pick a chain that limits me in that kind of significant respect, unless I'm getting something there that I can't get anywhere else.
Got you.
Right?
Got you.
I would be picking something different if it was me personally. Now, if you're already there and you've already invested in the ecosystem like a Star Atlas or somebody else, it may be incredibly hard to detach your project from the chain, because going somewhere else is hard. If it was EVM, you could easily port it over to, Arbitrum, or port it over to Polygon, or a ton other of EVM compatible chains. You can't do that with stuff on Solana. So it does make it more difficult for sure.
Okay. What else do you have in mind? What are you looking at?
I mean, some other things out there, like, oh man, I'm gonna bring one back that I was always really impressed by their technology, but their marketing was always the biggest problem with them. But Phantasma is a product that I always really loved what they were doing. And they had some great ideas, man, but they just never got the marketing down right. And honestly, I kind of think it's because the team are solid people who prefer not to use bots or nefarious other things.
No, that was a problem.
That's like when there's rewards and you'll pay people and you can use bot and like all these things, and tons of projects use those. And I feel like maybe they were just never like, they were like, we don't want to do that. But the marketing was always bad. But I do think I could see a little bit, I could see something coming back with Phantasma. But the same problem is that they don't really have, anything going on there. There's no good reason to build in something like that. But the reason why I still mention it here is because the technology is still solid. And in a true bull market, when there is just massive euphoria around,
any game you can grab that hasn't pumped.
No, I'm telling you, it doesn't even matter, man. You just find the coin that hasn't pumped yet. Yeah, and honestly, Phantasma has had no pump here over the last month, like almost all the other coins in the gaming industry. But because they fly underneath the radar and they don't have a lot going on. But what's going to happen is you're going to see a bunch of degens looking for those types of plays, and then they'll start buying this up, and it'll and that's how, and we just kind of see that happening over and over again. So there are opportunities there for stuff like that, but you definitely have to be cautious, because they're not long-term plays, right?
Right. They have to take profits fast.
Yeah.
So last bull market, I remember the gaming narrative, the blue chip, so to speak, what I was considering a blue chip, so to speak, was Axie Infinity. So I was looking at Axie Infinity, then looking at everything else. This bull market, I'm looking at IMX. Do you think that's a correct play, or would you disagree? As in the blue chip of the gaming industry.
Yeah, I mean, IMX is 100% a great play. It's one of the major gaming infrastructures, and they have some of the top games, and they keep gobbling up more, man. I think that it's a great play. The last cycle, everyone, See, the thing is, like, you talk about, okay, well, Axie Infinity was the narrative. I mean, it was, but was it a good narrative? Because no, ultimately, it was not sustainable, right?
Yeah.
Is IMX sustainable? Of course it is, because IMX is an actual, it's an actual infrastructure.
Yeah.
It was just a game, man, that was poorly built. It just attracted a lot of people because they could make an actual livable wage by playing the game and farming the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Uh, and since then they've created Ronin, which is become a more solid gaming chain for sure, and is in my particular opinion, that's the only good thing about that ecosystem is what's going on with Ronin. I'm not a fan of Axie, of what they've been doing with those games. I'm just not even a fan really of the whole community. They're one of the more toxic communities that I've encountered, man. Even being reasonable, like you're reasonable, doesn't matter. You're fudding their bags. And so
Oh, like XRP army.
exactly, yes, exactly, yeah. It doesn't matter if you're even if you're just being I'm not, reasonable. It doesn't matter. You're fighting their bags. They're gonna shit on you because you're a clown.
Right.
And that would be the biggest detractor, right? Does IMX have that same kind of negativity around their token? I just haven't seen it. Maybe it's out there, but I don't think so. I don't
Right.
think so. I mean, I think IMX is a solid play, for sure.
Nice. So, one of do you think? Okay, obviously there are new gaming coins that are gonna go up. There are old gaming coins that I think are gonna come back, get to all-time highs, maybe even past the all-time highs, right? For example, if you want, I can give you a couple of coins. You can tell me your opinion about them, because I know my audience has them because I've been talking about them, right? But first of all, first up, what about Mana and Sand? Do you think those will make a comeback?
I think okay, so I think Sand definitely will. I feel like Decentraland has I mean, like, man, they've got some things going, but I just feel like they've lost that edge a little bit. Will they come back? Of course, but bro, everything is going to explode during this bull market.
Right, yeah,
It's literally how it works every time. Every dog shit coin, and when I say dog shit, I'm talking about every dog meme or whale dog or dog whale or Inu, whatever. They're all going to pump. It's all going to be ridiculous. People are going to think they're freaking geniuses.
Yeah,
That they make
yes, yeah,
everything that they're doing can never go wrong.
right.
And that's just bull market euphoria. And it's funny because it sets up a bunch of noobs for complete disaster and to be wrecked at the end of the bull market. And those are the people who end up getting played, and the people who've been around here long enough are swooping up all that good capital from them and their paper hands. So I do think Sand is going to be great in this bull run. I think that they've really continued to push. They've added more partners. They keep building out and improving the tools that they provide for their creators, finding new ways. What they're building is a pretty big ecosystem, man, and what they've done. So I do think Sand will come back. I'm building a game in the sandbox that will release here probably about a month or two. So that should be
Nice.
lovely.
Okay. Tell us about
So
the
maybe
game.
a little bias there, maybe, but
Tell us about the game.
well, the reason why I'm doing is because I'm confident in what they're doing. So the Sandbox is backed by Animoca Brands, the largest gaming investor in Web3 by far, and that is their essentially their flagship title, right? The Sandbox was their first flagship, like real big flagship game. Is that game going anywhere with that big of an investment arm behind them? Hell no. Now, what does Decentraland have in that kind of respect? They don't have that same I don't feel like they have that same significant push. The token, I think, will still do fine. I still like what's going on in Decentraland. I just think that they don't have the same kind of velocity that we're seeing with Sand and the building and partnerships and things like that. That's always been my biggest thing with Sand is their partnerships. They do a really good job with onboarding partners and bringing some of these IPs into their world, and that's what people who play the types of games they're building or want to be on the type of platform they have, those are the things that they love, right? Look at Roblox.
Right.
If the Sandbox can even get a fraction of what's going on with Roblox or a Minecraft, they're going to do well.
Tell me about your game. Tell us about your game because I want to invest in that.
Tell me about what?
How did you say you said you're building a game on Sand, right?
Oh, my own game. Yeah. I'm building a game in the Sandbox. Yeah. So it's called Secret Agent Stash Mission Zero.
Okay.
And you're basically like a you're just a kid on the streets. You start off and you're a kid on the streets and you get recruited for the Gaming Intelligence Agency. That's the agency.
Yeah, that's too firm.
The GIA, the Gaming Intelligence Agency, right? So you get recruited for them, and they're like, "Hey, we need you. We're looking for, you know, a hotshot gamer to help us with, you know, to help us save the city." And you know, someone has stolen a smart contract virus that they're threatening to unleash upon San Angeles, which is the city that this game takes place in. So you go on this crazy mission to find out who stole this smart contract virus and recover it, and you know, bring it back for your very first mission as a brand new agent in the GIA.
That sounds
And
cool, man.
yeah, I mean, and it's
It's
fun.
good. I like it. I like it. I love it. I love it. Do you
I
get to
think
wear
we've been
hats as
casually
well?
working on it for a little while now. I have a trailer up on my Twitter, so it's I don't know if it's pinned anymore, but it's definitely in the highlights, and so you can go check that out there.
Okay.
It is going to be dropping probably February-ish, sometime next year. But you know, the cool thing about it is you'll see some people you may know, some people you may be familiar with in the game.
That is
So we
awesome.
a couple of my you know, crypto gaming friends that I've inserted in there, and I think
How can I get involved in that in the sense of investing in that? You're gonna have a coin, you're gonna have a token offering, or
no. This is a game with an
total
experience
sun?
within the sandbox, so it uses all the sandbox rails, right? So you know, there's no way to invest in this game. This
Right,
is not,
right, yeah, yeah.
it's not like it's a crazy long game. This is an experience that'll probably take you, a game that probably take you 45 minutes maybe to go all the way through.
Gotcha.
But it's the first of hopefully more missions that we'll have, and you'll be able to play different iterations, right, of the same map, right? So your first mission is this one, and then you know, mission number one may be something a little bit different, and you got something else going on there. So that's kind of the plan behind it, but we'll see how it goes with this first launch. If people are receptive and they want to see some more content, we may do a little bit more, but you know, just something fun to do, really.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Keep me up. I've been away from the scene for a while with everything that happened to me last year with my health. That's why I'm not really up to date with everything. And then when I came back, and now I'm getting better, I'm trying to catch up, and I am catching up, but
Mm-hmm.
it takes time.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about UFO and Illuvium? Do you think those are good plays? Do you think they're going to come back? I do see some price action wise on them, but I wanted to see your opinion about the gaming side of them.
You know, I'm not a big fan of UFO. I don't know that what they're doing is better than a lot of other similar projects.
Mm-hmm.
I do like Illuvium. I think Illuvium had, once again, they're one of the top tier games that have continued to build. They, you know, have a very ambitious goal, very much like Star Atlas, which I always thought was funny that they fight, you know, and that's partly my fault too. I'll take some blame there, uh, but I think that what they're doing, I think there definitely is something there. You know, auto battlers aren't for everybody. That's very clear. Just like TCGs aren't for everybody, you know. And some people just hate shooters. They're
Right.
like, I don't play shooters. I don't want, you know. So everyone has their own game they want to do, and you know, you could diss one game and say no one's gonna play this. It's complete shit. I don't care. But I think that you know, they are continuing to build, and they have something there that I do feel people will enjoy. I enjoy it. You know, I think that it's very involved, and people will like the depth that they bring. But then also having all, you know, kind of these three modes that all have synergy together. I thought that was kind of very unique, and we haven't seen really anybody else do something specifically like that, where you know, these you know, kind of companion modes all work together. Not that it hasn't happened before, but just not in the same kind of a way that Illuvium has done it, right? So they have like the overworld part, and you know, that's obviously the most ambitious because it takes a lot more development time and you know, assets and resources. But then the mobile version, which is, you know, kind of your resource management for your land, that is helping you to get all the things you need to go catch your Illuvium, your Illuvials, right? And then, you know, the actual battling part, which is the auto battle, you know, part of things. So I think that I think Illuvium will be great, and you know, they've always had a really great staking system and whatnot already from the get go, which is nice. You know, I know people love staking, and so I do too. You know, I do too. So I think that they're going to do well.
All right, let's go into, by the way, the games I really miss, that I'm really nostalgic, is Leisure Suit Larry and Space Quest and stuff like that. Don't know if you're aware of them, but you know, if you're close to my age, it might be.
Yeah, man.
Monkey Island.
Leisure Suit Larry, that was like one of those iconic games, man. You
Dude,
can't
come on, it was amazing. It was, I mean, you can't get better. It was, I would sit there and laugh. You were the, and his name was Larry Laffer. And it was like you just sit and play and you would literally laugh. It was funny. Or Monkey Island,
Yeah. Well,
another funny game. I don't see anything like that now.
well, that's what I'm saying. Well, you don't see it because back in the day, there just weren't that many video games. So when something weird and crazy like that came out, it was so different than everything else being offered, and there just wasn't that much being offered.
Hmm.
Now you can go on Steam or any of these other games, and there's hundreds of thousands of games.
Yeah, I tried.
I just thought. I mean, we started the show off talking about that. Man, the gaming industry is incredibly oversaturated. And it's becoming easier and easier every day to make games, right?
Yeah.
And so the competition is becoming stiffer and stiffer. So are those games? Do they make games like that anymore? Of course they do. You just don't know about them.
Hmm. That is interesting. That's interesting. You're gonna make me go look for games like Leisure Suit Larry. All right, Vulcan Forge. What's your opinion? Because again, I'm looking at price action. I'm looking at technical analysis. I don't know much about the gaming. I don't play these games. So, what do you think of Vulcan Forge? PYR.
Well, okay, so I'm not gonna say I have a love-hate relationship with this project, but I have an up and down relationship with this project, is how I feel. Sometimes, I feel like, man, what they're doing is amazing. But then there's other times where I felt like, damn, this is just not quality enough, right? So I'll tell you how I feel. Like, in the last bull run, that's how I felt. I felt that like, what they're doing is just not really top tier enough in this iteration, and I didn't think it was, right. They had some kind of simple games. They weren't really innovative. They didn't have gameplay that I thought, oh man, this is kind of cool, this is a little bit different, or I could see traditional gamers playing these games. That was not, I don't feel like that was the focus that they made for their project. But recently, they've really kind of expanded what they're doing, and once again kind of going the Gala route, right. We're okay, okay, Vulcan Forge isn't just a game. And then they've kind of had this narrative, but they're like, Vulcan Forge isn't just a game; it's a platform for games, and blah, But when I look at the amount of games and the games that they're kind of doing, like once again, I just kind of like, I don't know, are these games going to be games that are really super successful? I don't know that they are. I don't know that they really are. They had, like I said, so they're all kind of. They're built for their ecosystem and for their players, but I don't know that they're going to really go anywhere beyond that. You know what I'm saying? So the token itself, I'm sure, is going to do really well. But as far as like, are they going to put out a hit game that I want to play? Probably not, based upon what I've seen from the actual just gameplay and development from the 5-6 games or so that they have underneath their like umbrella and stuff.
You mentioned Gala. What do you think of Gala? Because ever since the CEOs go into a fight with each other, that was the last news I heard. What do you think of Gala, and what game company do you think will take market share from here on when it comes to Gala?
Gala has its problems. I've definitely been in the Gala ecosystem for a long time, and it also has its ups and downs too, right? But they've had some problems recently, But I will say, like, they have still maintained and continue to build and continue to foster their community. And I think they actually have some games that could do really well. Now and they have some games that suck too. That I'm just like, these are trash. No one cares, and they won't. But they are definitely focused on mobile, which is nice. I'm not a big mobile gamer, but there's lots of mobile gamers out there, and that's a good approach. But I feel like they do have a couple of games that really could be a big hit. In my opinion, Last Expedition is probably my favorite game that they're building. The aesthetic is awesome. The gameplay, even in early development stages, is actually really fun and engaging, and just a little bit different. Not too different, but different enough for people like, oh, this is familiar, but not, because that's the problem with gamers, is that if it's too different, you're gonna push them away a little bit. It's weird.
That's a problem with everything, though.
Trying to do something innovative and too different, they just shut down. Oh, it's too different.
That's human nature. That's human nature, though.
I know.
If everything's you have to have familiarity points when it comes to marketing and product. You just have to. Otherwise,
yeah. And so that's why I feel like Last Expedition kind of has those legs. Now they're still in early development too, and they could definitely bumble that as well. But I do feel with that title and what they're doing with that particular, that there is something going on there. The other legal troubles and things like that, those things will be settled, and I don't know that they're really going to affect Gala as a company per se, because it's really between the individuals and not like, oh, Gala is being sued, right?
What happened? Did one like go with the other guy's wife or something? Like I don't understand. What
Yeah, maybe that's what it really comes down to, man. They've
a
been wife
personal
swapping.
thing? Something about
No,
money
it's just,
or
yeah, it was basically the two co-founders, are at odds because one was kind of a hands-off dude and he seems a little shady with some of his other dealings and things that he's done, but you know, they they had some issues with the nodes that were distributed to them, and they're saying that one person was spending things on themselves personally, and then the other guy was saying no, but he stole this amount of money, and then so it's like a he said she said type of thing.
right? Okay, so
And
basically,
I think probably that Eric Schumeyer, who is the kind of active current guy, benefactor you may know on Twitter,
gotcha.
I think he'll probably end up winning out on the
Yeah,
suit.
he's
But
been
either
also
way, I
pivoting.
honestly don't know that it's I don't know that it's going to affect him significantly unless Thurston wins, right? Thurston wins, and he gets like a significant settlement or portion. I don't see it really affecting Gala anything. It's still not a good look, and
No,
there's
it's not.
many people who are like, I'm selling. And
I got
honestly,
out when I heard that. I'm like, forget that. I could just go
I don't
into
blame
G
him.
file, and I just
See,
went.
but once again, so let me tell you, when I heard that, you know what I did?
You bought more
Fuck yeah, I did.
when it went down, or right when it happened, because
Yeah,
it went down
yeah.
and stayed down for a while.
Yeah, I mean, there was a little dip, and I bought some on that dip because why not, man? When everyone is fearful, oh no, I gotta get out.
I wasn't
Buy.
fearful, but I saw the price
Oh
action
yeah,
of
the
G
fear was
file. I'm
there.
like, why am I even like? It just makes sense, right? Like, I mean, G file was breaking Blue Sky breakout after Blue Sky breakout, uh,
Yeah.
around that time. Talking about G file, what do you think?
You know, I don't. I want to tell you I know a ton about GFAL and what they're doing, but just kind of quickly looking at their site and things like that in the past.
Hmm.
I just man, I don't know, dude. It's one of those projects where like they make it seem like a really good idea, but I feel like I just have this gut feeling that the execution is never going to be there.
Good marketing, good marketing, good hype, but
Yeah.
no, you don't think it's going to have a continuation like Illuvium, for example, which is still around. It's one of those
Well, I mean,
we're
really,
do, we'll do good in this bull market, then not in the next.
yeah, I don't know that I would really like compare them to Illuvium, right? Because those are two different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Illuvium is just its own game, and GFAL is kind
True.
of like ecosystem, right? So yeah, I don't know that I would really kind of say that they're on the same path. But the same thing with GFAL, kind of like, all right, well, what games are they building? Are they going to be big? Like Elemental Raider, I don't, it just to me it doesn't seem like they have something like, ooh, that's going to be awesome. I haven't played any of the games, but just kind of looking at them, they're seem like not really games I necessarily want to play. Now, that doesn't
Right.
mean that they're games that other people may not want to play, but personally, I don't know.
Right.
So yeah, I think that there might be a lot of hype here. I would be maybe even wrong. Fuck man, I think people think, oh, because you make videos you must know
Right.
everything.
Exactly. Yeah, I get that all the
You
time as well.
100% of the
Like,
time. And if you're not, we're gonna just trash the shit out of you. And then when
exactly.
you are, even if it's an accident, you're a genius. Like so what it comes down to is that sometimes it's just gut feeling, man. I look at the stuff and I'm like, man, I don't know. Now, as a token done great, of course. But
Yeah.
once again, you don't have to have a good project for your token to pump. And we've proven that time and time and
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
time again here in crypto.
No, I
You can
want to
have a
just like
shit ass project that's shady as all hell,
of
and it
course.
eventually ends up rugging its freaking users or slow rugging them, and it
And
could
people
pump
are still
crazy
supporting it
high.
even after they get rugged, like Safe Moon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Or
mean,
or or,
who's
or,
buying
or
Lunacy?
Terra
Who's
Luna
buying?
Classic or Ethereum Classic. I mean, bro, we could go on and I could go
We
back.
can
I
go
go
on. Yeah.
5,
Yeah.
6,
Yeah.
7 years and hit everyone one for every year.
What do you think
The
about?
people that get mad, the people that get mad at stuff like that are the people that haven't been around, the people who are married to their bags and are literally tribalistic, fanatics.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
All right,
very.
man, that's the way you want to roll. Great, but that's not how I look at things, and that's not how I want to live my life.
All right, let me give you a couple of more questions. Because actually, let me give you one. What do you think of Lit Lab Games? Because there's been a lot of hype on that lately.
I don't know about Lit Lab actually. What's the hype? You said there's been a lot of hype. What is it?
Yeah, so I got into Lit Lab games, and I'm just seeing a lot of YouTubers start talking about it. That's all.
Well, I mean, that's not hype. Just because some people are pumping their bag. Like, what is like? What are they saying?
It's awesome.
You know,
wait, what are YouTubers usually say,
the only game
dude?
they have right now is Cyber Titans. I saw that they did like a partnership with Elixir, which is cool. But I'll tell you right now, man, as much as I really loved what Elixir was doing, they've dropped the ball super hard here over the last year. They had a really great advantage when with their launcher. They were like one of the first ones to push it as being a crypto focused launcher and some other things. But I feel like they kind of dropped the ball, man, with what they. I don't know what they got. I don't know what they're doing. And I've talked to the team a lot. I know the team well. I've talked to them and worked with them over the last 2-3 years almost. Actually, longer than that, man. I've been working with that team since Light Night. Yeah, and if you know that, then you know. But if you don't know, you don't know, right? So I don't know. I don't really know. Like I said, I haven't really looked into Lit Labs much. That was my first exposure, just seeing that they had partnered with Elixir there. I don't know. Once again, I just quickly looking at it, they got one game. Cool. All right.
Do you look at okay? I want to just say a couple of more, and then we can get back to other things. But like Nakamoto Games, Miria, G Swift, what do you think of all these? Are you bullish on them, or do you think they have products, or do you think it's a Lit Lab situation? If you know about them, because again,
I just don't know. There's no like Lit Lab situation. I just don't know the project. Like I said, all I've heard about it was just that partnership. I just pulled the website right now, and outside of Cyber Titans, I've never heard anything else about what they were doing, and the game doesn't seem super impressive to me. I haven't played it though, so you literally, I mean, like you can't put all those three tokens or all those three projects in the same boat. Nakamoto is a very specific type of platform. If you love mobile games, then you probably would love Nakamoto. I don't like mobile games, so it's not really my thing. I'm not going to go play these little mobile games. Maybe a lot of people will. I don't know. I think they have a pretty good ecosystem. They definitely have a good active community, and once again, that's a good sign for me too. And an active community is like, pushing it in a I would say not sleazy way. Miria, I think is doing well. Like I said, they're outside of Gala. I'd say they're kind of number 2 when it comes to a node-based gaming infrastructure ecosystem.
Yeah.
Now, once again, it comes down to like, well, what games are they going to onboard? What's going to use their ecosystem, and how are they going to push that forward? They just, I believe, they just released some updated node structuring stuff. I haven't dove all the way into it, but I did see a little bit about that. So I think people are happy about that, and I think the price is kind of reflecting that. What was the third one you said? It was Nakamoto and G Swift. Okay. Yeah, and G Swift I think is a pretty fairly solid project, but we need to see some results. When people are like, "Oh, the token's pumping because man, they have great founders. I'm just buying it because this guy worked for Epic Games or this guy worked for Rockstar." All right, cool, man. Right. But once again, I think it's a newer token, and we need to see something coming. Yeah. And I don't know what that really is going to be, but we'll figure it out.
I think a lot of them are trying to get the money to be able to release tokens after, or games after, or bring games to their platform after with the money they make from these being early in the crypto run, so to speak. Yeah. But yeah, so
well, that's what I mean. Like a lot of these chains and all these products are just so generic. Like you go and look like and read like what go to their website and read the first thing that they show you. What's the first thing they show you? It's a freaking generic ass paragraph that says we're here to revolutionize the Web3 blockchain gaming industry to provide amazing tools that everyone will love to use, and we're the best ever. Like what the fuck? What is that? What's your product? I don't know.
Yeah, they don't. That's marketing, though. They don't speak to you.
Bullshit.
Yeah, they don't speak to you. They don't tell you what's in it for you. Why should you be interested? They're just doing whatever everyone else is doing
because they can't.
Yeah,
that's it's is it clever? I don't know, man. Maybe it's clever. Just be super generic, not really ever say what you do. If you can't summarize what your blockchain or your project does in one sentence in a concise way, where like I read that sentence like, oh, I get it. I don't know, man. Then you're probably too complicated for most gamers.
Right. Now you've been in crypto for a while. You've been gaming for a long time. What do you suggest? Because I like the idea with the video you said about the 6 things. for new people in the crypto bull market. What would you suggest to people getting into gaming, crypto gaming right now? What suggestions would you give them?
Suggestions in what respect, right? So when it comes to gaming, we talked about this, there's two sides. So if you talk about just the investment side and like Web3 making money, or are you talking about like, oh, I want to find a game that I actually enjoy, but is also Web3 enabled?
Both.
Both. The problem is a lot of times those are different answers, right? So if you're like, what's going to be the best token and what's going to make me a ton of money with the least amount of effort and maximum return? I literally have people coming in my Discord all the time asking this exact question. What's the best play to earn game? And they say, and then we say, well, what kind of games do you like to play? I want the one that earns the most money for the least effort. And then we say, well, most of those require a large upfront investment. And then you imagine no investment up front. I want to play for free too. I'm like, bro, that's the holy grail. I don't really, that doesn't actually exist. And if it does, it's probably going to have Axie style tokenomics, right? So what I would say is if you're coming in and you are actually a gamer and you want to find a game you really enjoy, my channel is great. We talk about all of those, and we're always investigating and showing you some of the latest, newest games and what's going on there. But my either way, really, my advice is if you love games, go find a game in an ecosystem that you vibe with. I like, oh, I love RPGs. Okay, maybe something like Dalmy Online is your thing, or or Big Time, and you love RPGs. Well, then go immerse yourself in that community and figure out how you can then also make some money in that ecosystem, right? Versus like I'm approaching it like, okay, well, how can I maximize return? Let me get the spreadsheet up and down. Like those people are out there too, and obviously, that's fine. Hey, man, that's fine. You're just an investor. That's what, there's two sides of this coin. A lot of people argue that it should be one or the other. For a long time, or this bear market, the narrative in our like small gaming, gaming Web3 was it play to earn is dead and it's over and it should all be about the gameplay and we shouldn't talk about tokens. And the entire time I said, you know what? I don't believe that. I believe that you should talk about everything. If you're reviewing a project and you want your followers to know everything about that project, why would you leave out important things? Oh, because we want to focus on gameplay. Why can't you talk about both? Why can't the focus be on the gameplay, but then give all the information instead of saying, I'm only going to give you half the information. Good luck with the rest, sucker.
Well, I got a good question for you. If there was like, how you do those circles and there's the middle part of, okay, that probably just looks stupid, but you know how they got the circles and you got the little middle part where things meet?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Right.
Little circle, they intersect, yes.
Right. So game that you can play with also being able to make money. Some don't make it through that circle because they don't have enough gameplay, but the ones that may be good for both, but like not the best, but will meet inside that inner circle. What would you say would be a good play there?
Well, see, once again, it's one of those things where it comes down to personal preference, because the gaming circle is like what games you enjoy playing. Because if you enjoy playing the game, it's going to motivate you and keep you engaged in the community and in the token and the economy of that game. If you don't like the game and it's boring and you don't play it, are you gonna keep up with it? Are you gonna be in the Discord, obsessively? Are you gonna be following every little post and every little trail of information? No, because you just don't give a shit that much.
No, but
so finding that game is one of the first steps, right? So then you can always find a way to earn in a game if you truly are immersed in it, right? So that's what I'm trying to say is you're like, well, where is that middle ground where it's like perfect?
No.
That's different for everybody.
Let me rephrase. So if I'm an investor and I'm looking to invest in a game, but I want to see which game actually has playability that is good quality and can play, but also make money. That's what I mean, right? Yeah. Because a lot of people on my channel, a lot of people in the Crypto Factor, they're in it for the money. I'm telling you right now. So, and that's not a bad thing. I love crypto for the money. I've been literally living off crypto for the last few years, since 2017. But what I'm trying to find, or I'm trying to help my audience find, is that inner circle. Sorry, I have to do that. The circle in the middle that grabs both parts. Where yes, it's a game, so it has a future. People like it no matter what, but whether they're like RPGs or shooters, doesn't matter as long as good quality. It's got something for it. Maybe it uses trend stacking. where you have one trend, another trend, you put your own innovation on top, it's trend sagging. That can also do well price-wise, but usually these things will do well price-wise anyway, like in a way, because that's what I'm looking for.
So yeah, in that scenario, what I would say is that, I think some of the best games to look at for that would be like, yeah, I think Sam would be great for that because there's a lot of people who, they do a lot of earning events, right? So, it's not like another games where they like you can just earn all the time. Like they do it in specific events. So I think there's a lot of possibility there. I also think that like games like Gods Unchained are really solid or parallel if you love TCGs. Both those tokens have done fairly decent. They are ecosystem tokens that are used as rewards. So, it really does come down to the balances of the sinks that we have there. So those can kind of change over time as far as like, okay, do people really like playing this game? Yes, they do. Can you invest in it? And is the token doing well? Yes, it is. It's sitting in that middle section, right? I think that's there for sure. Big Time is one I've talked about on the channel, obviously. Right now, they're blowing up, man. When you talk about who has the game with what I would consider probably the most content playability, and then also the largest earnings, right now it is 100% Big Time. They just gave away millions of dollars in their very first play and earn leaderboard session, and they just started the second one. So if you talk about someone who wants to grind a game, but like that, there's people out there grinding and they're going to make millions just play, for right now. Now, is that going to be sustainable? I don't know. We'll see how it goes with the economy. They really are. But they keep continually rebalancing things, right? That's the big thing, is that they understand the pitfalls and they know exactly what they need to do to keep rebalancing, right? They know that they need to have these sinks. And so they're doing that, which is great to see, instead of just sitting there just like collecting the damn fees and just like, whatever. So I really do think that, Big Time is probably one of the best play and earn opportunities right now. And the token is obviously doing fairly well. In contrast, Shrapnel is definitely by far one of the most anticipated games in the entire industry.
The one on Cardano, yes?
No. Shrapnel's on Avalanche. It's
Avalanche. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, so it's the shooter. And I think that I think it's gonna be huge. That game is gonna be, it's one of them, like I said, one of the ones I'm really looking forward to, and a lot of other people, not just in my community, but in the general gaming community, are looking forward to, even outside of Web3. I have lots of Web2 gamer friends, and they have said, man, this actually looks legit. I'll play this. I'm down for this. So I think that that's a good sign. And they just released their token, not too, like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. And it's doing well too. So, you look at that and it's early, right? So getting in on a token like this super early, I think, is always good. Obviously, with any token that is inflated over time, which almost all of them are, right? This is kind of part of how things go.
Yeah.
There is going to be maybe, some devaluation there for sure. You just can't help that. It's literally just kind of the way things go. But, most of these tokens have inflation cycles that end at some point, or they should if they don't, right? So you look at this and like, okay, well, what's the biggest, one of the biggest problems we have with the US dollar is, we have built in this, like, we need to maintain that the inflation percent is around 2 to 3%. That's optimal. Man, can we get away? And like, so basically we're just going to devalue your shit 2 to 3% every damn year for the rest of your life? Yep.
Pretty much.
And nobody cries about that shit. I mean, we do, but most people don't, right? In the crypto industry, like, oh, it's horrible. Like, yeah, I mean, hey, man, but if they have a timetable, at least, like, hey, okay, it's out there, everything's out. There's no more tokens being created because there's a max supply. They'll hit that at some point. Will the game or project be around by that time? Maybe, maybe not, right? Startup companies come and go very quickly, not just in crypto, but across the board, right?
Yeah.
That's what everything in crypto is. It's a freaking startup. And then gaming, even worse. Even worse. Go look at just general Web2 gaming numbers and see how many games are created and then how many have failed. It's a significant percentage. So yeah, I think that there's a lot of opportunity for the markets. The gaming will be the narrative for this bull run, as I've always known it was going to be. As I've always told people, gaming is the best use for blockchain technology and NFTs. I've been saying it since 2017. Some people listened, most didn't. Then I said it in 2018 when I was the first YouTuber to make his own NFT. Nobody else was doing it before then, and distributed it to 5,000 people for free through Engine. And then in 2019, when I was saying it too, and started pushing Gods Unchained because they were coming out of a closed beta, which I play. Like every damn year I've been, and then a few more said, okay, yeah, I can see that. And then now here we are. Everyone's like, gaming is the best thing. I told you. And I'm like, bro, you didn't tell nobody, man. You just riding whatever is the latest narrative, just like most crypto YouTuber influencers do. I doubled down on this shit as soon as I saw it because I knew and I saw the vision.
Right. Stash, thank you so much, man. You gave great value today. I hope people listen. People can find you. The sites are up here or down in the description down below. Is there anything else you want to add before we end this? What a bad outro, man. That was probably the worst outro. Every single thing you're not supposed to do in the YouTuber book, say the end, this, that, everything. I just completely wrecked that. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
No worries, no worries. I'll only hold it against you for a short amount of time, and then I'll probably forget. So I would just say, hey, if you love gaming and you're looking for a community of people who game and talk about crypto as well, and NFTs and skins and other gaming stuff, come check out the Gaming Intelligence Agency, my community. Go join our Discord, and say hi and come hang out with us, and maybe join the agents program. I didn't even talk about the agents program, man. We have this cool agents program.
Yeah.
Well, it's a monthly thing. Like it's $10 a month, and you get all kinds of cool things like early access codes to games that most people don't get access to because I hook all them up. You get gaming sessions with me, so we get to play games together. You also get a agent only Discord where we're talking about all the top level alpha stuff, right? We talk about things in the general comms, but that is like the top level stuff. You also are going to get some cool things like access to our clip sniping program and a couple other cool things. Priority chat replies and all. There's some good stuff packed in there, but essentially, airdrops from our partners, free NFTs, special giveaways that are just for our agents. Every single person in this program has told me that the value we give back is so significant that they're surprised there aren't more people in the program. I'm like, well, it's definitely Web3 gaming's best kept secret.
Yeah.
We talk about it, we advertise it, but I don't want a bunch of people just jumping on board. They're just there to try and farm some rewards or people who want to be part of the community, which is great. So if it's something for you, maybe just jump in the Discord, see if we're people who could be friends and hang out and game together and just kind of have fun. So yeah, we'd love for you guys to be there.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much, and we'll talk again very soon, bro. All right, make sure you check out Crypto Stash. I'll leave links down below. Also, check out the rest of the links in the description. But tell me something, what are your favorite crypto gaming tokens? Comment down below what your favorite tokens are. And if you want to know what my favorite tokens are, make sure you watch this video right here or check out this video right here. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.